Welcome to yoga. We're going to start lying down on your back. So go ahead and lie down. Have your knees bent. Have your feet out as wide as your yoga mat and let your knees knock in towards one another. And then take your hands, clasp your opposing elbows and drop your hands behind your head. And just take a few moments to breathe here. So as your knees knock in together, you feel your tailbone getting a little bit longer. You allow your eyes to drop closed. And you allow yourself to just kind of catch up with where you are in this moment. So I say this a lot. You guys have heard me say this before. That yoga is about learning to be present with reality as reality presents itself to us moment to moment to moment. So it's about being in the present moment, and the present moment is revealing itself to us in an ongoing manner. And so we've seen a lot of changes. We've seen our present change a lot over the last few weeks. We've seen our emotional landscape change a lot over the last few weeks, and even over the course of a day, we have many different emotions that we touch upon. So you're here with your eyes closed to just kind of catch up and to establish where you are in this present moment. And this idea expands out to your yoga practice as well. Sometimes when we're practicing, we have the experience of something being hard or difficult or unattainable or undoable. And that might be the reality as it's presenting itself in that moment. And so our job is to be responsive to that moment, not to say, hey, I should be able to do this, or I used to be able to do this, but to just come back to your breath. Because your breath is always the reality of what is. Your breath is constantly bringing you into that present moment. So take a few more moments. Maybe switch the clasp of your elbows, just change it up a little bit. And take a few moments to be silent and still. And then release the clasp of your elbows. Place one hand on your heart, place one hand on your belly. And connect to the sensation of your breath as it moves into your hands. So you can receive your breath with each one of your hands. See if you can make your breath steady and slow, deep and fulfilling. Nourishing, calming, and cleansing. Great. And then place your hands by the sides of your body. Heel toe your feet so that they are hip distance apart. Feel the soles of your feet connecting to the earth. Feel the palms of your hand connecting to the earth. And with the idea of expansion, on your next inhale breath, start to lift your hips, start to reach your arms way back behind you. And as you exhale, lower your arms and lower your upper back, middle back, and lower back all the way down onto the floor. And we do that a few times. Synchronize breath and movement together. So as you inhale, you lift your hips, you stretch your arms way back behind you. As you exhale, you roll yourself down and you're cognizant, you're conscious of all of the different parts of your body as they come in contact with the earth. So do this a few more times on your own and just look with those inner eyes. As you move and as you breathe, where are the places in your body that you might be storing tension or unprocessed emotions? Where are the places in your body that maybe need to have a new and present experience of this reality? Let's do one more. This time, hold your hips up after you stretch your arms back. Circle your arms on the floor, interlace your hands underneath you, right thumb on top of the left thumb, and shimmy your shoulder blades a little bit closer together. Roll your outer arms down into the floor. As you lift your outer hips, think about spinning your inner thighs down towards the floor. And as you press your arms, press your shoulder blades down, see if you can get your chest to puff up a little bit more towards the ceiling. Good. And then release the interlace of your fingers. Heel toe your feet so that they're close together. And extend your right leg up towards the ceiling, reaching through the ball of your foot. Take a few breaths. Good. And then slowly lower your hips back down. Cross your right ankle over your knee. And start to wiggle your hips, wave your hips back and forth from side to side. So when you go towards the left, the sole of your right foot is going to land down on the floor. And as you go to your left, you're just exploring that range of motion. As you go to your right, I mean. Good. And so the next time the sole of your foot lands on the floor, hold it there. Take your right hand to the inside of your right knee. Just press it away from you a little bit to encourage that stretch. Good. And then bring it back to the center. Hug your right knee in towards your chest. Extend your left leg out on the yoga mat. And then you're going to press your right knee forward. Let it lift your head and your shoulders up off of the floor. Reach your arms forward. Lift your left leg up. And on your inhale, extend your right leg up towards the sky. As you exhale, lower your right leg down to meet your left. And as you inhale, draw your knee back in towards your chest. And then as you exhale, extend your right leg back out to meet your left. As you inhale, take your leg back up to the sky, right leg up to the sky. And then bend your right knee 90 degrees. Hug your right knee, drop your left leg back down to the floor, reach your right arm out to the right. And twist your right knee over towards the left-hand side. So imagine your right fingertips could keep reaching further and further towards the right. And allow your breath to move through this shape. Good. And then slowly bring your knee back. Place the sole of your foot down. Bend your left knee, place the sole of your foot down, make that connection to the earth, place your hands back down by your sides. And as you inhale, lift your hips, reach your arms way back behind you, dynamic bridge. As you exhale, roll everything back down onto the floor. And follow your own breath. Let's do this a few more times, eyes closed. We're observing from our inner eyes. Our external eyes are always perceiving the external world. We strengthen our inner vision so that we can come to know ourselves and understand ourselves a little bit better. Let's do one more bridge. Extend your arms back behind you. This time, hold your bridge up. And then reach your arms, circle them around underneath you, interlace your left thumb on top of your right thumb, and shimmy your shoulder blades to the center of your back. And as you think about those outer hips lifting, the inner thighs descending down, you try to puff your chest up towards your chin. You try to create extension through the upper part of your spine. And then slowly release the interlace of your fingers. Lower your hips back down, heel toe your feet so that they're together again. And then lift your hips up and extend your left leg up towards the ceiling, reaching through the ball of your foot. Keep lifting the hips, keep reaching your toes towards the ceiling. Good, and then slowly lower your hips down, cross your left ankle on top of your knee. And then start to rock your hips from side to side. You can extend your arms out to the side if that feels nice. See if you can land the sole of your left foot down on the floor. And then see if you can make a rainbow shape as you take your knees all the way across. And then one more time, land the sole of your left foot on the floor. And you can take your left hand to the inside of your left leg and just give it a little bit of pressure to increase that stretch. Great. And then slowly bring it back to the center. Hug your left knee in towards your chest. Extend your right leg down on the floor. Think about pressing your right inner thigh down into the floor. And then start to press your left knee forward, so much so that it lifts your head and your shoulders up off of the mat. Float your right leg up, reach your arms forward. As you inhale, extend your left leg up towards the ceiling. As you exhale, lower it down to meet your right. And as you inhale, draw it back in towards your chest. As you exhale, extend your left leg out to meet your right. As you inhale, lift it back up. And as you exhale, bend your knee 90 degrees. And then relax your body down into the floor. Reach your left arm out to the left and slowly twist your right knee over towards the right hand side. Walk your left fingertips even a little further to the left. Maybe even gaze over towards your left fingertips. And then slowly revolve it back to the center. Hug both knees in towards your chest. Lift your head and your shoulders. Try to touch your nose to your knees. And then start to rock up and down the length of your spine. And you can do it a whole bunch of times like you're giving yourself a little massage. And then eventually you rock yourself all the way up. Cross your shins and roll on over so that you come into hands and knees. And as you come onto your hands and knees, you make sure your knees are directly underneath your hips. You make sure that your wrists are directly underneath your shoulders and your fingers are spread out nice and wide. And then you start to explore with your breath again. So as you inhale, you reach your chest forward, you lift your tailbone up. As you exhale, you draw your belly button in towards your spine and you round your back, pressing down into the tops of your feet and your shins. Finding your own rhythm here. So this is about you. This is about yourself. This is about that inner connection. This is about that dance. You and your breath, your thoughts, your emotions, your body, everything comes together in yoga. Good, and then do one more. And then find your way into a neutral spine. So you can imagine a little zipper from your pubic bone to your navel that you're zipping up. You extend your right leg straight back behind you. Take an inhale, feel your belly muscles still working. Make sure you're firming your left hip in towards the midline of your mat. And as you exhale, try to touch your nose and your knee together. As you inhale, extend your legs straight back behind you again. As you exhale, bring your nose and your knee together. One more time, inhale, extend. And as you exhale, bring your nose and your knee together, but then step your foot between your hands and kick your left foot towards the right-hand side of your mat so that your right heel will bisect the inner part of your left knee. And then take your arms open. So it's like a warrior two, but we're on our knees. You might need to double fold your mat so that if your knees need a little padding. And then think about drawing your outer thigh towards your inner thigh. So we're not trying to stick our butt out behind us. We're trying to tuck and wrap that sitting bone underneath us. And we feel that connection to the core from the base of the pelvis lifting up. Good. So square your body towards the front, your rib cage and your chest. is facing front, but you look at your right knee and it's tracking over your second and third toe. Good, and then start to lean forward. Take your right hand down to the inside of your right ankle. Brace your elbow and your knee towards one another and stretch your left arm up and over your ear. So it's like side angle pose. So these are postures we'll be doing later, but we want to build some of the foundational building blocks, even if we've done these poses never or many times before. We want to feel the difference, feel those actions in our body so that we can be present. Good. And then take your top arm back up to the sky. Return to your modified warrior two, but keep going. You're going to drop your left hand down. You're going to swing your left foot around a little bit so it's facing more the front of your mat, and maybe float your right leg up. It's totally optional. You can also keep it down on the floor. So we're in this modified side plank. Think about a long line of energy from the inseam of your right leg all the way through the crown of your head. Good. And then in super slow motion, start to revolve your right arm down. Make sure that your left foot is pointing straight back behind you. Make any adjustments that you need. Take a big inhale here as you exhale. Bring your nose and your knee towards one another. As you inhale, extend your leg back behind you. As you exhale, bring your right knee to tap your right shoulder. As you inhale, extend that leg back behind you again. As you exhale, bring your right knee to tap your left elbow. And as you inhale, extend it back. Good. And then as you exhale, bring your nose and your knee together. Step your foot between your hands. And rise up to a half kneeling shape, reaching your arms up towards the sky. So you feel that lengthening through the front of your body as you hollow out your belly. Lift the back ribs up so you can stretch the thumb side of your hand a little bit more than the pinky side. And then reach your arms around behind your back. Interlace right thumb on top of the left. And as you inhale, press your knuckles down. Lift your sternum from the inside out. Make sure you're still drawing your belly button in towards your spine. Good. And then release. Bring your arms into a cactus shape. Imagine you are bracing your arms on a doorway and start to press your chest forward through the gates of your arms. Good. And then inhale your arms back up towards the sky. And as you exhale, cross your left elbow over the top of your right knee. Press down onto the top of your right hand. Press your right hand down into your left hand and feel that twist happening from deep within. Couple rounds of breath. Good. And then unravel your twist. Place your hands down on either side of your right foot. As you inhale, think about lifting your chest. And as you exhale, straighten your front leg, let your hips fold backwards. Rebend your knee. Inhale, this time float the arms all the way up. As you exhale, straighten your leg, bring your fingertips back down towards the floor for a hamstring stretch. One more time, bend your right knee, take your arms up to the sky. And as you exhale, fold forward, straighten your right leg, let your fingertips land. Good. And then rebend your right knee, place your left hand to the inside of your right ankle. Place your fingertips behind your head and slowly start to revolve your chest up. Think about the left side of your belly button, trying to look at your right inner thigh, and then extend your right arm all the way up and see just how long you can get. From the bottom hand all the way up through your right fingertips. Good. And then slowly revolve your hand back down and step your right leg back. So you're back in a kneeling position. Take a few rounds of cat and cow here to recalibrate. Let's take one more. Find your way back into that neutral spine. And so you're already thinking about your pelvis and its alignment. You're thinking about hugging that outer right hip in. So you stay connected to the midline. Extend your left leg straight back behind you. You can think about the inner thigh spinning up towards the ceiling. Take an inhale here. And as you exhale, bring your knee and your nose to try to touch one another. And as you inhale, extend and get long again. Exhale, bring the elbow or the knee towards the nose. Inhale, extend and get long. And one more time, bring your knee in towards your nose, pause. And then step your foot between your hands. Take your right foot over towards the left side of your mat. Align your left heel and the inside of your right knee and spin your arms open into that warrior two. So let's just make a little mistake here. Let's stick our butt out behind us and let our rib cage kind of dive forward. And then do the opposite. Press your pelvis forward. Feel that inner left thigh revolving towards the outer left thigh. So it's like you have a conveyor belt. And then square your chest and your belly towards the front. Good. And then start to lengthen out over your left leg. Take your left hand down to the inside of your left ankle. Brace your elbow and your knee together. And spin that right arm up to the sky, eventually reaching it over your ear. Pinky side of your hand turns down towards the floor. And you breathe. And you be in whatever experience you're in. Good. And then lift back up into our modified warrior two. Slowly start to land your right hand down. Kick your right foot so that it's facing more towards the back of your mat. And opt to stay here or float that left leg up. Think of that long line of energy from the inside of your left leg all the way through the crown of your head. Good. And then slowly revolve your left hand down. You can square off your bottom right leg. Extend through the left. Take a big inhale. And as you exhale, bring your knee in towards your nose. As you inhale, extend and get long. As you exhale, left knee, left tricep, squeeze through the side of your body. As you inhale, extend and get long. As you exhale, left knee, right tricep. Feel that twist through your core. Inhale, extend and get long. And then as you exhale, bring your knee straight back down the middle and step your foot between your hands. Good. And you rise up, bringing your arms up towards the sky, feeling as if you could lift your ribcage up off of your pelvis. And then circle your arms around behind you, left thumb on top of the right. As you inhale, send your chest up towards the sky. See if you could lift your sternum from the pressure of your shoulder blades reaching into the front of your body. Release the interlace of your fingers. Bring your arms into a cactus shape. And with your arms in the cactus shape, imagine you are bracing your arms against a doorway and reach your chest forward. Good. Inhale, both arms back up to the sky. As you exhale, cross your right elbow on top of your left knee. Press your left hand down on top of your right. And feeling that twist from deep within. Where does this twist really originate from? Good. And then slowly bring your hands down on either side of your left foot. As you inhale, lift the chest. As you exhale, straighten your left leg. Think about your left sitting bone reaching way back behind you. Rebend your left knee. Take your arms up to the sky. As you exhale, straighten through your right leg. Bring your fingertips down and feel that left sitting bone reaching further back. Good. Rebend your left knee. Take your arms up to the sky. Imagine you are lifting your ribcage up. And as you exhale again, fold forward, straightening that left leg. Marinate here for a few rounds of breath. And notice how things are always shifting and changing. The sensations, the quality of your breath, your ability to focus, and you just keep bringing yourself back. Great. And then rebend your left knee. Place your right hand to the inside of your left foot and spin your left arm. Oh, let's take our hand behind our head first and do it that way. So you're leaning the back of your skull backwards. Draw your right shoulder blade down your back and then extend your left fingertips up towards the sky. And breathe. Can you take a deep, full breath here? Can you fully release? Good. And then slowly revolve your left hand back down and come back to kneeling on all fours. Good. And then you're going to keep your hips stacked directly over your knees, and you're just going to walk your hands forward of your yoga mat. Maybe lift up onto your fingertips. And as you lift up onto your fingertips, try to spin your triceps down towards the earth, your biceps up towards the sky. Try to melt your chest down towards the floor. Good. And then walk your hands back in and shift your hips forward. So you're in like a modified push-up here. From this modified push-up, you think about how long you can reach your sternum forward. At the same time, you think of hollowing out your belly and pushing down through the thumb side of your hand so you feel your shoulder blades starting to broaden on your back. Take an inhale, and as you exhale, keep your belly muscles engaged and take 5 seconds to lower yourself all the way down onto your belly, resisting with your core. Eventually you land. And you reach your arms back behind you. Option to interlace right thumb on top of left, or just reach your arms straight back. And lift your head and your chest and your shoulders away from the floor. Draw your belly button in towards your spine and float your legs up by thinking of the inner thighs lifting faster than the outer thighs. Reach your knuckles back, lift your sternum a little bit taller. Good. And then place your feet back down on the floor if you've lifted them. Place your hands directly underneath your elbows. Pull your yoga mat backwards, lift your chest a little bit more. Good. And then as you exhale, take your hips back into child's pose. So you feel the sides of the body getting really long here. Imagine you could reach through every single fingertip. You're emanating energy out of every single fingertip. Good. And then like you have crazy glue on your palms, pull your chest forward again so you're in that modified push-up position. Your hips are in line with your shoulders. Take an inhale, and as you exhale, again, take 5 seconds to lower down, keeping your belly button pulled in towards your spine. Good. Once you land, reach your arms around behind your back. Either keep your arms reaching back on the sides of your body or interlace your left thumb on top of your right. And as you extend your arms, your knuckles towards the back of the room, allow that to create the shoulder blades reaching into the front of the body. Maybe float your feet up off of the floor. Think of the inner thighs lifting. Good. And if you floated your feet up, place them back down. Make sure your pinky toenails come into contact with the floor. Place your hands directly underneath your elbows. Pull your yoga mat backwards. Lift your chest. Roll your shoulders back. You can stay here, or you can lift up into upward facing dog. Good. And then as you exhale, roll over your toes and find downward facing dog. So as you come into that downward facing dog, just slowly start to pedal your feet out, observing the difference from side to side. Good. So you look at your feet are hip distance apart. Lift up high onto the balls of your feet and stretch your sitting bones up towards where the back wall and the ceiling come together. Bend your knees a little bit. See if you can lift up through those sitting bones a little bit more. And then start to press your heels down towards the mat. It doesn't matter if they reach, but do try to lift up all 10 of your toes. as you imagine pressing the front of your legs into the back of your legs. Holding this downward facing dog, few rounds of breath. Feeling the ground underneath your palms, feeling the ground underneath your feet. Feeling the lift of your sitting bones, feeling the scooping action of your pelvis. Feeling your chest press back towards your thighs. Good. And then on your inhale breath, shift your shoulders forward so that your shoulders stack above your wrists. And as you exhale, lift your hips up and back into downward facing dog. So you're thinking about two things: strength as you shift forward into the top of the push-up, feeling the front of your body engaged to support the back of your body. And you're thinking of length as you reach your hips back into that downward facing dog. Do that a couple more times on your own, just following your own breath rhythm. One last time. And then shift forward into the top of a push-up. Feel free to drop your knees back down into the floor. We're going to take 5 seconds to lower the belly all the way down. Keeping your hands where they are, flip over your feet. Just a baby cobra, so think of pulling your yoga mat backwards to lift your chest, extend your toes back. And then as you exhale, release back down, tuck your toes under, lift your kneecaps up off of the mat. Engage your core muscles, and on your inhale breath, press yourself right back up to the top of a push-up. You can always stay on your knees. As you exhale, lift your hips up and back into downward facing dog. Again, inhale, shift forward to the top of a push-up. This time you're going to take 5 seconds to lower halfway down. You definitely can use your knees. So exhale, you're going to pause when you're halfway down. And as you inhale, lift your chest, up dog or baby cobra. And as you exhale, take your hips up and back into downward facing dog. One more time. Inhale, shift forward, shoulders over the wrists. Feel free to drop your knees. Take 5 seconds to lower to the halfway point. Inhale, baby cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, hips up and back, downward facing dog. Good. Walk your hands all the way back towards your feet. When you get there, bend your knees a lot so that your belly and your thighs can come together. Clasp your opposing elbows, right forearm on top of the left. Pull your forearms down towards the floor at the same time you lift the sides of your hips up towards the ceiling. You keep your belly and your thighs connected so you don't compromise your lower back. Good, and then place your hands down on the floor. Start to bend into your right knee. Spin your left arm up towards the sky. Good. Slowly revolve back down. Clasp your left forearm on top of your right forearm. Your belly and thighs are still connected. You pull your elbows down as you lift up through the sides of the hips. You observe how much your hamstrings are stretching. Good. And then release your left hand down, bend into your left knee, and stretch your right arm up towards the ceiling. Good, and then slowly revolve down. Bring your hands to your shins, peel your chest forward. Think of the top of your sternum lifting higher. So you create a little bit of a dip and then a rainbow shape or an upside down rainbow. Good, and as you exhale, release back down. Look at your feet. Think of the four corners of your feet, the inner ball, the outer ball, the either side of the heel. press into those four corners, and as you inhale, circle your arms, reach all the way up to the sky. As you exhale, cactus your elbows, lift your chest up towards the ceiling. Inhale your arms back up to the sky. And as you exhale, bring your hands together in front of your heart. Good. So you guys remember that breath of joy. We're going to practice breath of joy. So I'll remind you how it goes. It's 3 inhales to 1 exhale. So we're breathing in as our arms swing up, breathing in as the arms go out, breathing in as the arms go up. And as you exhale, you bend your knees, you fold forward, and you throw your arms back behind you, okay? So let's do it all together. Getting ready. Here we go. Inhale, 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 exhale. Inhale, 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 exhale. Feel free to make noise on your exhale breath. 3 more. Big inhale. Bring your hands onto your heart. Feel your heartbeat. Feel what it means to be alive and present in this moment. Good. And then release your hands. Step to the back of your yoga mat again. As you inhale, circle your arms, reach up towards the sky. As you exhale, hinge from your hips, fold forward, long spine. As you inhale, lift your chest up. And as you exhale, slowly walk your hands forward into downward facing dog. So try to keep your heels down for as long as you can. And then float your right leg up towards the sky. Take an inhale. As you exhale, shift your shoulders forward. Bring your knee to try to touch your nose. As you inhale, return to 3-legged dog. As you exhale, shift your shoulders forward. Curl your knee in towards your chest. As you inhale, send that leg back behind you. 3-legged dog. Last time, shift your shoulders forward, curl your knee in towards your chest as you exhale. And then step your foot between your hands, seal the outer edge of your left foot down. You have heel to arch alignment, so you make sure that your right heel bisects the arch of your left foot. You place your right hand down to the inside of your right ankle, you brace your elbow and your knee together, and you spin your left arm up towards the sky. Good. And then think about deepening the crease of your right hip. So you start to straighten into your right leg. You lean the back of your skull backwards. Think of your earlobes moving back towards the back wall. Good. And then rebend your right knee and rise up into warrior 2. So we already made the mistake, right? We already tipped our butt back behind us and leaned forward. So we're thinking of revolving that outer thigh towards the inner thigh so that the sitting bone is right underneath us. You extend your arms out to the side. You make sure your chest and your belly are facing the front. Good. And we're going to flow here. So as you inhale, straighten your right leg, bring your arms up to the sky. As you exhale, bend into your left knee, bring your hands down in front of your heart. As you inhale, reach your arms up, seal your right foot down again. And as you exhale, return to warrior 2. Again, inhale, straighten your leg, lift your toes up off of the floor. Exhale, sit down into Skandasana. Beautiful. Inhale, take it up. Exhale, warrior 2. One more time. Inhale, take it up. Exhale, sit down, Skandasana. Inhale, take it up. Exhale, warrior 2. Flip your right palm over. As you inhale, reverse that warrior. As you exhale, cartwheel your hands down, pivot to the ball of your back foot. And stretch your right arm up towards the sky. You can roll to the outer edge of your left foot. And you have an option to just heel toe your right foot down a little bit so that it's in front of your belly, or you can step your right foot on top of your left for side plank. Good. Slowly revolve it back down into a plank pose. And you have an option to take a vinyasa or simply lift back into downward facing dog. If you're taking that vinyasa, you exhale to lower. You inhale for baby cobra or upward facing dog. And you exhale your hips up and back into downward facing dog. Inhale your right leg back up towards the sky. As you exhale, bring your right knee to tap your right tricep. As you inhale, extend your leg back up towards the sky. As you exhale, bring your right knee to tap your left tricep. Feel that twist through your core. Good. Inhale, take your leg back up towards the sky. And as you exhale, step your right foot between your hands. Good. So think of trying to draw your yoga mat backwards with your right foot, forwards with your left foot. So you're scissoring the legs. Reach your arms out towards the sides. And as you press into the center of your right heel, you rise up into a crescent pose. Place a generous bend in your back knee. Imagine your left knee was being pulled towards the front. Reach your arms around behind your back. Interlace your right thumb on top of your left. And as you inhale, send your arms and your tailbone down. Send your chest up. Good. Release the interlace. Bring your arms to a cactus shape. And like you're bracing your elbows on the doorway, try to reach your chest forward. Good. Inhale both arms up to the sky. And as you exhale, cross your left elbow across to the outside of your right knee, pressing your right hand down on top of your left. And feeling where that twist is originating from. Beautiful. Bring both hands down on either side of your right foot. As you inhale, lift your chest a little more. And as you exhale, straighten your right leg, thinking about keeping your belly and your thigh connected to one another, so it might not straighten all the way. Again, re-bend your right knee, lift your chest up. As you exhale, straighten into your right leg. How long can you make that leg? Good. Re-bend your knee, inhale. And as you exhale, straighten that front leg. Good, now re-bend your right knee. Walk your fingertips a couple of inches forward of your right foot, and with your fingertips down, float your left leg up into warrior three. Good. And then you slowly bring your left foot back down to meet your right foot. Bring your toes to touch, your heels slightly apart. Bring your hands to your shins, and as you inhale, lengthen your chest forward. As you exhale, fold back in. Bend your knees, circle your arms, coming into a chair pose, so shift your shins backwards, so if you glance down, you can see all of your toes. And then bisect the midline of your body and twist your left elbow across to the outside of your right thigh, coming into a twist. Good. Release your twist, place your hands down on the floor. Lift the sides of your hips up. Inhale, reach your chest forward. And as you exhale, step back to downward facing dog, or feel free to take it through a vinyasa if you choose to. Inhale your left leg up to the sky. As you exhale, shift forward, curl your knee in to try to touch your nose. Inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, bring your knee in to try to touch your nose. Inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, bring your knee in to try to touch your nose last time. And then step your foot between your hands. I'm going to turn around so you can see me. Seal the outer edge of your right foot down. Bring your left hand to the inside of your left ankle. Take your right arm up towards the sky. Good.
So we're thinking of all the things we did before. We're thinking about the pelvis coming forward, the top of the skull reaching out in a straight line in line with the inseam of your back leg. And then start to straighten into that left leg towards triangle pose. You're thinking of your left sitting bone tracking towards the arch of your right foot. Good. And then rebend your knee. Lift up into warrior two. And remind yourself that outer thigh is rolling towards the inner thigh. Your chest and your belly are squared towards the front. Good. As you inhale, straighten your left leg, bring your arms up to the sky. As you exhale, sit down into Skandasana. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, sit into Skandasana. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, warrior two. One more time. Inhale, lift it up. Exhale, sitting down. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, warrior two. Flip your left palm over as you inhale, reverse your warrior. As you exhale, cartwheel your hands down, pivot to the ball of your back foot. The right hand is going to press down. You can spin to the outer edge of your left foot, coming into that twist. And maybe heel toe your left foot over so you have a supported side plank, or you can take your left foot and stack it on top of your right. Good, and then slowly find your way back into a plank pose. Option to take a vinyasa, or lift your hips up and back into downward facing dog. Inhale your left leg up to the sky. As you exhale, bring your left knee to tap your left tricep. As you inhale, extend back up, get long. As you exhale, bring your knee across, feel that twist throughout your core. Inhale, take it back up. As you exhale, bring your knee in towards your nose, push the floor away, and step your foot between your hands. So right away, you're thinking of scissoring those legs, left heel pulling back, right inner thigh reaching towards the ceiling. Take your arms straight out to the sides. Feel your belly hovering off of your left thigh. And then press into the center of your left heel and rise up to a crescent pose. So place that generous bend in your back knee. Imagine your right knee coming forward. Circle your arms, left thumb on top of the right. As you inhale, reach your knuckles down, reach your tailbone down, reach your sternum up. Release the interlace, bring your arms to a cactus shape, and try to reach your chest forward. Good. Inhale the arms up towards the sky, and as you exhale, the right elbow crosses over the top of your left knee. You press your left palm down, and you encourage that twist. You can use your palms pressing into one another as leverage. Good, and then release. Place your fingertips down on the floor. As you inhale, lift your chest. As you exhale, keep your belly and your thigh connected as you straighten into your left leg. Doesn't have to straighten all the way. Rebend your knee, lift your chest. Inhale. Exhale, straighten the left leg. Keep the belly and the thigh connected. Rebend your left knee. Lift your chest. And as you exhale, straighten your front leg and let yourself marinate here for a few rounds of breath. Notice if your hips are drifting towards the left. Think of both inner thighs tracking on the midline of your mat. Good, and then rebend your left knee. Walk your fingertips forward. Float your right leg up, warrior three. You're thinking of that right inner thigh spinning up towards the ceiling. You're thinking of firming that left hip in. Good, and then slowly let your right leg come down to meet your left. Big toes touching, heels slightly apart. As you inhale, lift your chest. As you exhale, fold back down. Bend your knees, circle your arms, Utkatasana, chair pose. And then bisect the midline of your body with your palms. And twist your right elbow across to the outside of your left knee. Good. See if you can get your chest to reach up towards your thumbs. Roll your left shoulder blade back. Good. And then release your twist. Bring your fingertips down to the floor. As you inhale, lift your chest. As you exhale, step back. Lower down if you're choosing to take vinyasas. If not, straight back to downward facing dog. And take your hips up and back into downward facing dog. Good. Inhale your right leg up towards the sky. As you exhale, curl your knee in towards your chest. Step your foot between your hands. Walk your fingertips forward. Your right shoulders to the inside of your right knee. You're just feeling a stretch, like your spine is reaching out of your pelvis. Good. And then walk your hands, so they're still in front of you, but they're on either side of your right foot. Your right knee is tracking right over the second and third toe. And you float your left leg up into warrior three again. You have an option to keep your fingertips down or bring your hands together in front of your heart. And this is where it may get a little bit challenging, but yoga is all about transitions and handling transitions well. So you're going to start to stand all the way up. Bring your hands together in front of your heart and bring your foot to the inside of your right calf or the inner right thigh, or you can always make a kickstand if you're having struggle with balance today. Finding tree pose. Have a steady gaze, a calm expression on your face. Good. And then float your arms up, float your knee up, reach up. Start to bend into your right knee, reach your left leg way back behind you, land your ball of your foot down, circle your arms, lift your chest to the sky. Good, and as you exhale, bring your hands down, step your right foot back, take it through a vinyasa, or lift your hips up and back into downward facing dog. Inhale your left leg up to the sky. As you exhale, shift forward, curl your knee in towards your chest, step your foot between your hands. Walk your hands to the inside of your left foot and walk your fingertips forward. Good. And then walk your fingertips back in so that your hands are on either side. They're framing your left foot. Your left knee is tracking. And you float your right leg up into warrior three. Option to bring your palms together. Think about making a straight line from your back heel through the crown of your head. And then whichever variation you chose, start to stand all the way up. Place your foot to the inside of your left calf or inner thigh. And try to keep tracking that midline of your body on the inseam of your left leg. Calm expression on your face. Steady gaze. Being present with yourself. Stretch the arms up, bring your knee in towards your chest, reach long. And then slowly start to bend into your left knee, reach your right leg way back behind you, land on the ball of your foot. As you inhale, circle your arms up, crescent pose. And as you exhale, bring your hands down. Step your left foot back to meet your right. Either take it through a vinyasa or straight to dog. Good. Bend your knees, come down. Separate your knees out wide. Bring your toes to touch. Take a child's pose. Good, and then walk your hands back in. Align your knees, align your calves. Come up into a tall kneeling position. and start to press your pelvis forward, thinking about elongating your tailbone. Your pubic bone lifts up towards your navel. Your navel draws back towards your spine. You reach your arms towards your hamstrings. You catch a hold of your hamstrings and you open your shoulders up, lifting the sternum. Bend your elbows. Use your shoulder blades to project your chest up towards the ceiling a little bit more. And then maybe start to slide your hands down your hamstrings, but don't lose any of those actions we talked about. Good, take one more inhale. And as you exhale, drop your hips down into your heels. Come back into a child's pose. Walk your hands back in again. Rise up onto your knees. Think of your tailbone moving down. Your tailbone moves towards your pubic bone. Your pubic bone moves towards your navel. Your navel moves back towards your spine. This time, reach your arms behind you. Interlace your fingers. You can always stick with the first variation we did. Right thumb on top of the left. As you inhale, send your knuckles down. Send your chest up. Use your shoulder blades to get a little bit more lift, like you could lift your sternum from the inside out. Good. And then as you exhale, keep the interlace of your fingers. Drop your hips into your heels. Let your head lower down onto the floor. Let your arms lift up towards the ceiling. Squeeze your palms together. See if you can make your arms taller. Release the interlace of your fingers. Place your hands on your lower back. Massage your lower back a few times. Hopefully your back is feeling a little bit more spacious, a little bit more capable. Place your hands down in front of you one last time. Walk it up to the top of your knees. Think of all of those actions. You have that pelvic wheel spinning inward towards your body. Reach your arms around. You can catch your hamstrings. Stay with that variation, or left thumb on top of the right. Inhale, send your chest up towards the sky. Keep the tailbone reaching down towards the earth. Pop the shoulder blades up into your upper chest. Good, and then keep your interlace. Reach your hips back into your heels. Lower the forehead down onto the floor. And float the knuckles a little higher. Feel your collarbones getting really wide. And then release the interlace. Lower your hands onto your lower back. Massage your lower back a few times. And then reach your arms forward. And roll yourself up one more time. Sit down off to the side. Swing your legs around to the front. Press the inner thigh side of your legs down into your yoga mat. Circle your arms up to the sky. Imagine you were lifting your ribcage up out of your pelvis and keeping that length, like you could place your ribcage out in front of your legs. Start to fold forward. So we don't want to round the spine. We want to think about getting that lift. And it doesn't matter really how far you go. Think of going forward rather than going down. So your sternum is elongating out. Eventually, you can just let your spine release. Good, and then lift back up. Bend your knees. Reach your arms forward. And articulating through each vertebrae of your spine, start to roll yourself down. All the way down. And once you land, hug your knees in towards your chest, allow your eyes to close, and just already start to create the frequency of peace within your body. What can you soften here? What can you release? Can you just hold yourself in this embrace and be still and present and grateful in the love that you have for yourself that allows you to show up, allows you to listen inwardly for this hour. Reach your arms out to the side, drop your feet down to the floor, cross your right thigh bone over your left thigh bone. Shift your hips to the right, let your knees fall down towards the left as you gaze towards the right.
lift your knees back up. Switch the cross of your legs. Shift your hips to the left. And as you gaze towards the left, let your knees fall towards the right. Good. Bring your knees back to the center. Uncross your legs. One more time, hug your knees in towards your chest. This time, lift your head and your neck up. Try to touch your nose to your knees. Squeeze everything. Squeeze your face. Squeeze your hands. Squeeze your toes. Take a humongous inhale breath. Hold your breath. Keep squeezing everything. And finally, exhale, release. Let everything go. Coming into your final rest for Shavasana. So if it's more comfortable, you can end how we started with your feet out wide and your knees not towards one another. If you want a little bit more of an open position, you can bring the soles of your feet to touch and let your knees fall out towards the side. Whatever you're doing, just make your body form as receptive as a position as you possibly can. So this is just about receiving the benefits of your practice, receiving the benefits of your own presence and attention. I recently learned to consider time and attention as a currency, right? We pay attention. So we use this currency, we put this investment into our well-being, body, mind, and spirit. And so when you make an investment, right, eventually you get to enjoy whatever it is that you've invested. So this is that time for you to let go and surrender and enjoy the fruits of paying attention, of utilizing your time to strengthen the vision of your inner eyes. Letting go fully into the silence and the stillness. So place one hand on your belly. They say that everything, even modern science is saying that everything originates in our belly. It's like our first brain. It's our place of instinct. It's the first place where we digest the external world. So just connect to that area of your body. Feel your breath as it moves and nourishes that area of your body. And then place your other hand on your heart. Our heart allows us to connect through love, compassion, empathy, forgiveness. As we go through life, we often build walls around our heart. So with your hand on your heart and your breath moving through this area, imagine that you could collapse some of those walls so that you can receive the events of your life with a little bit more love and compassion. And then on your next inhale breath, stretch your arms way back behind you, stretch your legs way out in front of you. Imagine you could energize, enliven, and invigorate every single cell and molecule of your body. Wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes, feel alive. We're all alive in practicing yoga. It's so beautiful. And then hug your knees in towards your chest and just embrace yourself. Thank yourself for showing up. Thank yourself for your presence. Thank yourself for that time and attention, that investment that you made. And then as you're ready, roll over onto your side. Press yourself up to a seated position. Sit up with a very tall spine. Imagine you had a cable lifting through the crown of your head.
solidifying the crown of your head over the center of your rib cage and the center of your rib cage over the center of your pelvis. Bring your hands together in front of your heart. And as you bring your left hand and your right hand to join in front of your heart, press your palms gently together and lift your heart towards your thumbs as if you could shine out that love, compassion, empathy, forgiveness, as if you could bring it to the forefront. Gently press your shoulder blades into the front of your body. Feel your sternum lifting from the inside out. Bow your mind to the infinite wisdom of your heart. Find gratitude for anything you can think of that inspires gratitude in this moment. And slowly allow your eyes to open. Namaste. Thank you so much.